Tom Harris, a 35-year-old illustrator and father of two, cherished his modest suburban home. In his backyard stood a weathered garden shed, built with his late father over countless weekends. To Tom, it wasn't just a shed, a sanctuary, a link to his past, a place to escape life's chaos. But one chilly spring morning, that haven became the center of a storm. A stiff envelope from the Homeowners Association, HOA, arrived, accusing Tom's shed of violating rules. Painted to blend with his house and hidden behind a fence, it was deemed an eyesore and an unauthorized structure. The HOA demanded its demolition within 30 days or crippling fines. Tom's heart pounded as he read the letter. His shed met every guideline. How could this be? The injustice stung, and the name at the bottom of the letter, Margaret Voss, HOA president, burned into his mind. Fueled by anger, Tom marched to Margaret's mansion, a towering estate with marble driveways and a sprawling pool house that dwarfed his shed. Margaret greeted him with a syrupy smile. "Tom, your shed doesn't meet our standards," she said, dismissing his protests. "Rules are rules." Stunned, Tom retreated, but a neighbor, Dave, stopped him. "Her pool house breaks twice as many rules: height limits, setbacks, no permits. Never a complaint." Tom's blood boiled. This wasn't about aesthetics, it was about power. Margaret, untouchable in her position, enforced rules on others while flouting them herself. Tom vowed to fight back. Nights became a blur of research. Under the dim glow of his laptop, Tom scoured HOA bylaws, uncovering Margaret's pool house violations. It exceeded height restrictions, ignored setback lines, and lacked board approval. Neighbors shared stories of petty fines, a lawn too long, a mailbox slightly off, while Margaret's monstrosity stood unchallenged. "She's untouchable," whispered Ellen, a retired librarian. "No one dares." Tom's rage grew. This was bigger than his shed. It was a battle against a bully who wielded her title like a weapon. Tom enlisted Karen Lee, a sharp HOA dispute lawyer with a knack for toppling giants. "You've got a case," Karen said, flipping through property records. They filed a formal complaint, demanding a review of Margaret's property and a vote on her conduct. Margaret scoffed, calling an emergency HOA meeting to squash Tom's disturbance. The meeting room buzzed with tension under fluorescent lights. Margaret sat at the head, flanked by loyal board members. Tom stood, voice steady, presenting photos of Margaret's pool house violations and neighbor testimonies of her selective enforcement. "This isn't about my shed," he declared. "It's about fairness." Margaret's smile tightened, her eyes flashing. Whispers rippled through the room. Her confidence was cracking. Margaret retaliated viciously. New fines hit Tom's doorstep. His lawn edging was too long, and a tree overhung the fence. HOA newsletters branded him a troublemaker, threatening community harmony. The stress weighed on Tom's family, but he pressed on. Karen's team subpoenaed HOA records, uncovering a bombshell: emails from Margaret fast-tracking her pool house while rejecting others' requests. "Approve it quietly," one read. Proof of intentional abuse. Tom's resolve hardened. This was war. The courtroom was packed, the air thick with anticipation. Margaret's lawyers painted Tom as a defiant rule-breaker, but Karen was relentless. She presented the emails, photos, and testimonies, dismantling Margaret's defense. "This is deliberate abuse of power," Karen thundered. Margaret sat rigid, her facade crumbling as whispers spread. Tom's heart raced. Justice felt close. After tense deliberation, the judge's gavel fell. "The HOA's selective enforcement violates homeowners' rights," she ruled. "Margaret Voss must resign, and the illegal parts of her pool house must be demolished." The room erupted. Tom exhaled, relief washing over him. Outside, the neighborhood buzzed. News vans swarmed, and Tom's story went viral. Neighbors rallied, no longer silenced by fear. Margaret's reign ended, and her pool house was partially razed. Tom stood by his shed, watching his kids play under a golden sunset. His phone pinged with a text from Karen. You did it, Tom. This is just the start. He smiled, the weight of injustice lifted. His shed, once a target, now symbolized triumph. But the story doesn't end there. Margaret's downfall sparked debates. Some neighbors called Tom a hero, others argued he'd disrupted order. Was his rebellion reckless, or was Margaret's arrogance to blame? The community split, with heated arguments at coffee shops and online forums. Tom's fight exposed not just one woman's hypocrisy but the flaws in unchecked power. It left a question: when does standing up become stirring trouble? What do you think? Was Tom right to take on Margaret, or did he go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we're dying to hear. And while you're at it, share your take on power and justice in tight-knit communities. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more gripping tales of everyday heroes. Let's keep this conversation going.